Hello, everyone. We just to remind you, we are recording this portion of the episode, the Zoom. When we go to show and tell, we will turn the recording off so that if people are concerned about that part, that will be taken care of. So today is third Thursday at 3 in August, and we've been doing this. This is our fourth month of doing this. I am Babs Asherman. I am Miss Babs, and we're going to be talking today with Alex, who is one of our dyers, and she just got finished doing some dyeing. And
I like your green hands, Alex. Wave to everyone.
She wears gloves, but sometimes the dye goes down in there, and she did not have time to clean up.
Yeah, I don't clean off too good.
So, yeah.
Gotta wear off.
Yeah. So, okay. So before we talk to Alex, I just wanted to cover some things that have been going on for us, and it's been incredibly busy. We have put out our festive sets, and those are, we still have some available. We did 3 different color combinations, and it is available in Yummy 2-ply and Avon, which is a merino silk. Those are both fingering weight yarns. We've been in the midst of mystery knit along, and the first one with Casapinka started last Friday, and that uses 4 skeins. And we have the original set was in the Sharon Air, and this mystery knit along is about going along with Sharon, her cat, on travel. And so these are the
Yes,
colors.
I think they are working to fight Chad, the Mongolian death worm, who has stolen the golden cat treats from the museum in Egypt.
Okay.
Yes.
So that's the original set. This is a set that's been incredibly popular. That's Moss, Zombie Prom, Wolfsbane, and Fleur de Sel. And so just showing you a couple of the options. The next mystery knit along, which will start on September 2nd, is Gnome knit along, mystery knit along, and that is done by Sarah Shira of Imagined Landscapes. And we have 3 different weights, bases that can be done in. The Yummy 2-ply. Yeah, for little gnomes. And then bigger gnomes can be done in the Intrepid, which is our new worsted weight. It is not available yet online outside of the set. It will be available come September. And then the last size is in K2. And so with that, you get large gnomes.
Yes, I will apparently be knitting 2 of those because both of my sisters feel the need for a ginormous toddler size gnome.
So Helen is going to be knitting that. So we'll make her share as she goes through her process. The last mystery knit along that's starting on September 1 is Mountain Musings with Lisa Ross. And we have had a number of those sets sell, and she's using the same
configuration.
Yeah, configuration. I was going to say confirmation. I was like, no, that's a horse. Anyway, configuration of 7 toes and 2 main color full-size skeins. And so one of the most popular has been Majestic Mountain, and it uses Cascara as the main color. And that it has speckles. Another popular one has been Cloud Valley, which has Eternity as your main color. And the other thing to know is that if you, for some reason, don't care for the main color that we have suggested to go with the set, you can always give us a ring or an email, and we will work with you to get another color that works. The absolute favorite one has been Cinque Terre, and it's these sets of colors with dunes, and it really is absolutely lovely. So the original set was done in this with beanstalk. So,
And that one's called Mountain View.
and it is the Mountain Musing set. Yes, thank you. Okay. So that's part of what's been keeping us busy. And yeah. And the other thing that we're getting, of course, fall is coming. So we've been doing lots to get ready for fall. The first thing is that Helen sent out an email to those of you who might be club members for color choice. There's 2 different sets. It's a gradient set plus a one full-size skein. And this is for our last shipment, which will go out in September. And coming up next week is the Blue Pearl Trunk Show. They'll be doing that in conjunction with Jennifer Weissman, who's one of our favorite designers. And that store is located in Madison, New Jersey. The other thing that's coming up that we're getting ready for, have started packing for, is Fiberspace Trunk Show, so Fiberspace and I go back a long way. I went to the last Stitches that was in Baltimore, and Danielle, who's the owner, showed up and we talked a little bit. And then probably about 6 months later, she called me and she said, would you be interested in doing a wholesale account with me? And I hadn't done many wholesale accounts. I still don't, but it was very, she and I got along really well. We have the same sort of thoughts about business. And so I decided to go ahead and work with her on a wholesale account. And I still have very few wholesale accounts, but so I've been in her store since the beginning. I had yarn in her store when she opened her doors. So it's a long relationship. But that trunk show is September 16th through 18th. There will be tents out on the street and yarn, and hopefully no rain. And then our next third Thursday at 3 is on the day that I am driving up to Alexandria. So so that will so Lynn and Helen and Callie will be taking care of that third Thursday at 3. So yes, we've been busy. We're being busy. And there's, and then the unsaid is Rhinebeck and Saff are coming.
And
DFW.
And DFW before that. So, we have 3 shows in, sort of back to back,
Last week
to
in
back.
September, mid-October, and then the third week in October.
Fourth week. And
Fourth week,
yeah.
yeah, so it'll all be.
we're going to be busy. Yes.
But
Okay.
we love you.
Thank you.
That makes it worth it.
Oh, Lord. So here we are. And we've had so many things going on. Alex has been, we've been talking about presenting her dye style for a while, and we've just had so many things. So here we are, finally. So Alex has been with us, has been working with me for 8 years. Because your twins are 7. So she's been with us. She has washed yarn. She has done other things. When she was pregnant, we moved her away from the dye. And then when she got,
Twist a little bit.
twist a lot. Yeah.
Mhm.
Just a little bit.
And but she washes yarn. That was one of her major jobs for a while. And one of the things that's pretty amazing about Alex is that when the first day she came and was working for us, she looked in a pot that she was getting ready to pull yarn out of. And I don't know whether she really understands how important and powerful this was, but she could see the yarn. And
Instead of just a tangled mess.
right, exactly. She could see the yarn, and she was able to pull the yarn out of the pot. And I was like, oh my God, this is wonderful.
You know you had a superpower to you.
And, there are people who look at yarn and all they see is spaghetti. And Alex doesn't see spaghetti. And so that's been wonderful. About 4 years ago, I think she started doing some 3 years ago. You started doing some table dyeing for us. I don't know. It's been a while.
It might have been 4 years now.
Yeah. Time keeps flying. It really does. So she started doing some table dyeing because we just needed another dyer. And she also likes to play with things, color. She likes to put colors together. She likes to try things out. She sees things, people have brought yarn in and she sees it and she, maybe I could do something or this and that. And so one of the things that she has started coming up with is space dyed yarns, space dyed dyeing. And I used to do space dyed yarns when I first started. And then
About 11 years ago when I joined was when you were just fully transitioning.
yeah. So,
So what do you mean by space dye?
okay, so space dyed, I'm actually going to take a skein apart because this is the best way to see what that means. So there's red, gray, and blue on this. And so it's, instead of it all being mixed up with each other, it is in very specific areas on the yarn.
The yarn has a repeat.
Yeah.
Yes, the yarn has a repeat. And Alex just started doing some of this.
Mhm.
And then we just said, do some more of it.
Yeah. And then just started coming up with different types of colors and then put it together.
Yeah,
Whether I think it's a pretty color or not, but other people would probably like them.
yeah. I mean, there's all different kinds of colors and, okay. So this actually would be a nice Halloween knit.
Mhm.
This is buzzing around and it's got this yellow and a green and a purple. So this is, and this is to the finish. And
That one's a little bit more mixed up, I think.
so it may have more, four sections.
Maybe.
Okay. So some of them may not be 3-section colors. But the ones that look like this are, some of them are wild irises. So they're dyes left over at the end of the day.
Yeah. Like I'll pick colors out and then when I have color left over, then I'll mix it and then just put it on yarn and then it's whatever color it is that we can't repeat.
Right,
So,
right. And sometimes those are pretty
Yeah.
nice.
and then
Yeah.
we try to make what we think it might be. Well, if that looks like that color, I think we can do that.
Right.
So Steffi asked, will the space dye pool in a planned way for a cowl?
Okay, so, oh, I left my K2 one over there. So Helen is partway across a row. So, oh, sorry. This is a scarf. So yes, it will, you can plan the stitch count for a scarf. You can also, I've got a cowl that they went to grab that can be done for, and you can plan it, or this is a hat that it stripes
From the pooling.
from the pooling. So part of it is about what your stitch count is. And so sometimes it will pool in a way that you can plan, and then other times it won't. I did this sample. Can you grab that side? And this is, I just knit, I don't know, I cast on some number of stitches and I knit across back and forth just so you could see sort of a random pooling and flashing on this. So there's that. Ivy knit this mitt, and so a sock would knit up in much the same way. And I knit a hitchhiker, and you can see that it pools a little bit in certain areas. And this again is because the stitch count is correct for getting it to, so it will stack up. But there are patterns out there that are
That are designed or
Right.
intended for the pooling.
right.
For stacking.
So we do not, okay, so we have supply channel issues. And so we have a limited amount of K2 available to us right now. And we have been focusing on dyeing what K2 we have for the gnome sets. And I did a K2 Cal. This is a knit 2 purl 2. There is no pattern at this point, but I cast on 112 stitches. If I were to do it again, I would do it at 116. I was knitting on a size 9 needle, and it stacked up. What I do like that this is going to be, yeah, this is going to be my walking the dog Cal for in the winter. Okay, so first of all, when it's really cold, you can do this, but it really under the coat, it's really nice, and it keeps that wind out of the neck, which is, but you know, and we get some weather like that around here. So it's, but we'll put together that when we get more K2 in. And unfortunately, best laid plan of mice and men and so on and so forth. Last but not least, I am working on a cowl that is, I'm gonna forget the name of it, but it is a zigzag, chevron pattern. And so you can see how it acts as it goes around. And
There's Alex's hat too, right?
right. This is a little different. And this does have a nice strike, and I love how that is knitting up. And so, do you know what that colorway is called?
I can find it, hold on.
Okay.
It is Far, Far Away.
Yeah, far, far away.
And it's repeatable. So,
Yeah.
We've had some unrelated questions.
okay.
Firstly, is the new worsted superwash?
No.
No. But it is very soft.
Yes.
So although you are allergic, we'd be happy to send you one of our little samples so that you could, you know, rub it on your
They're allergic to,
wool, sensitive.
okay.
So she can do superwash, but not.
Okay.
So we'd be happy to send a sample if you like, but it is not a superwash.
Right.
There's a question from Steffi. So you could eventually do a sunrise or sunset depending on how the color is dyed. I don't entirely understand the question, but
Colors like a sunset or sunrise.
yeah, are you wanting colors to mimic that? Or are you just saying like Babs's Hitchhiker, the way it pools and changes with the
I
stitch?
think they're thinking of the Alaska hat kind of thing.
Okay,
So I think I don't know that pattern.
for the pooling yarn. Yeah, I don't understand. Are you wanting a color that is like the sunrise, Steffi, or are you thinking about how it pools?
So it's for the pooling yarn. I think we need more information.
And then Fran asked if we will have to sign up every month or get an invitation automatically. We will look into that. And Steffi says she'll send an email about. the
Okay,
question.
cool. Thank you. Because just don't know ever. So here, you know, people will often ask me at a show if I know about a pattern, and I am like, well, I'm a dyer and I don't spend a lot of time looking at patterns. So that's, you know, unfortunately, I'm not always tracking what's going on in the pattern world. So
someone couldn't hear the answer to the worsted superwash question. Can you repeat it?
okay, so the worsted yarn, the new worsted yarn is not a superwash. It is, but it is very soft. it is Rambouillet, and we can send you a sample and you can see if you can tolerate it.
Yep. Alex, what pattern are you using for your hat? Is it sock hat or just cast on some stitches?
Just it's cast on stitches. What was it, 136 or 132 that we came up with?
Something like that.
So it'll
Yeah.
be similar to sock hat though.
Yeah.
right?
Yes.
Yes.
And she only did about 3 inches of ribbing instead of 4, which is what sockhead is.
Mhm.
So yeah, we do a lot of semi sockhead hats.
We
Here.
do.
I mean, this is basically a sockhead hat with 100 and
That's the one we counted off of, wasn't it?
Mhm.
so it's
Yeah.
136. So
Yeah, I think that's right. As long as it's a multiple of 4, it all works.
Yeah,
so
matches. Looks
Yeah.
really good.
so
All right, any other questions?
So are you going to keep on experimenting with these colors, the different colors?
I plan on it
Cool.
whenever I have time.
Okay.
Right.
And more colors, like
Yeah.
different kinds of combinations and things.
Mhm.
yeah, we were actually talking about adding some neutrals with you know, some bright colors. So it
Mhm.
might be nice to have a gray, pink grapefruit and white peppercorn. I'm just picking a color out of
Yeah.
the air, but you know, having some grays in there would be good too, I think.
We probably never have gray left over because we make a lot. So, but, and the other question I had is, are each of the color batches unique? I mean, you were saying that you were using mixes, but you are now trying to replicate them?
I'll go and pick like colors and then write them down and
Okay.
then go through my list and like pick which ones I want to do for that day or just whatever I have left over with sometimes.
So
Okay.
sometimes they are
Repeatable. or-
Yes.
repeatable and yeah.
Sometimes
Yeah.
not so much,
Yeah.
but they're all fun.
Yeah.
We're super excited and I absolutely adore the rainbow one. That's my favorite.
Yeah.
So,
Mine too.
So at this point, we've basically been doing it on 2-ply, but I'm looking forward to having Alex do some on Putnam so that it'll be good for socks.
Yeah.
And so there'll be
And
good,
One
too.
skein projects.
yes, largely one skein projects.
Margaret Thomas is thrilled with her Sharon Air kit and loves the pinks and us. So thank
Aw.
you, Margaret.
Thanks, Margaret. Maybe I'll see you in Nashville at SAF in the fall. So,
do you want to do show and tell?
All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and turn off the recording.
right.